If I had to start over with digital products today, with no audience, no fancy brand, and I needed money fast, I would do things very differently than most people online tell you to do. I would not spend weeks building a giant course. I would not obsess over making everything perfect. And I definitely wouldn't waste time posting everywhere. Because if you need money fast, the goal is not to build the most impressive business. The goal is to build the fastest, simple system that can actually lead to sales. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I would do this step by step. And make sure you stay until the end because the last step is the most important if you want to turn this into real income instead of just another unfinished side hustle idea. If we haven't met yet, I'm Kimberly Latona. I've spent the last 15 plus years coaching entrepreneurs and building businesses. And over the past several years, I've built multiple income streams online while raising 3 young boys and working part-time hours. I've also tested a lot of business models. And after all of that, digital products with a simple automated system have been the most scalable, easiest, and most profitable business model that I have found. And before I show you my exact process, let me say this. Needing money fast does not mean you need a shortcut or some kind of get rich quick scheme. Okay, it means you need a better process. Like you just need a better system. This is what most people miss. They're often doing decent things, just in the wrong order or not strategically. Okay, so let me give you a real life example. One of my students, Janet, had no experience with digital products, no audience, no warm network, no friends and family launch. She used her personal experience and a personal health crisis story to create 2 simple PDF guides. One was $7, one was $37. She started posting once a day on a brand new Instagram account with 0 followers. And in her first 2 weeks, she made $662 from 56 sales. Just a specific problem, a simple product, and a clear message. Okay, now it's now been about 2 months since she started, and she's now making almost $1,000 a week with no ads, no complicated tech or funnels, no team, and working less than a couple hours a day. And that is exactly why I believe that this business model works so well if you need money fast. Not because it's magic, because it's simple enough to actually implement. So, if you want the full step-by-step version of what I'm about to break down, download my free Digital Freedom Business Blueprint below. So, if I needed money fast, I would pick speed over ego. Okay. The first thing I would do is I would stop trying to build the ultimate product. There are so many, like, this is where so many people lose weeks or months or even years. They think it needs to be a full course, it needs videos, it needs 10 modules, it needs all of the PDFs and attachments and all of the everything, like all of the extras, all of the bonuses. It needs to look polished, it needs to feel like a big business. No, if I needed money fast, I would start with a PDF guide, a workshop, a simple resource bundle, or a done for you MRR offer if it was aligned and reputable. Why? Because the best digital products to sell online when you're trying to gain traction quickly are usually the simplest ones. Not because simple is lazy, because simple is easier to finish, it's easier to explain, it's easier to price, and it's easier to sell. And that's why Janet's guides worked, even though they took her less than a week to create and launch. They were simple, they solved a real problem, they were easy to understand. And if you're looking for digital products for beginners, this is where I would start every time. Okay, step 2. I would use my experience, not try to invent something genius. Okay, the second thing I would do is I would use my own experience. Fast money comes from clarity, and clarity usually comes from what you've been through, what you've solved, what you know, what people already ask you about. Janet didn't just sit there trying to invent some revolutionary product idea. Okay, she used her own health story. And that matters because when your product comes from real experience, your message is clearer, your content is easier to create, your product is more believable because it actually works, and your audience trusts you faster. This is one of the fastest paths if you're learning how to create digital products to sell online for beginners. Because you don't need to be the world's greatest expert. You just need to be able to help someone solve one meaningful problem. Okay, step 3. I would get hyper specific about the problem. If I need money fast, I would not waste time overthinking my niche. I would get specific about the problem. The niche is not what makes the money. The product clarity does. Okay, so instead of thinking, what niche should I choose or what's going to be the most profitable niche, I would ask, what painful problem can I solve? What quick win can I help someone else get? What would someone buy quickly because they want relief now? That's how you get faster traction. Okay, so example, not a wellness guide, okay, but an insulin reset protocol. Not how to have a better marriage, but 25 date night ideas for exhausted parents after the kids go to bed. Okay, specific wins sell. Generic ideas usually don't. So, step 4, I would sell the simplest way first. If I need money fast, I would not wait until I had a huge content library or a complicated website. Okay, I would sell the simplest way first. And that usually means this simple funnel. Okay, content, which is driven, like you're posting content, which drives traffic, that goes to your freebie, that gets into your email sequence, and that leads to the checkout page. Okay, the sale. It's not complicated. Step number 5, I would choose one traffic source and go all in. Okay. If I needed money fast, I would not split my effort across 5 platforms. It sounds like a good idea at the beginning because you're like, oh, I'm going to be on all these platforms. It's more a bigger chance that I'll get more exposure, right? But that's not true. Okay. I would choose one traffic source. If I needed the fastest warm up path, I would probably use my own Instagram or Facebook if I already had traction there, or YouTube if I wanted a longer term compounding traffic. Okay. But I would still only choose one. I personally started with Facebook and went all in for a year. Janet used Instagram, okay? One post a day on a brand new account with no ads, and it worked because she stayed focused and she wasn't spread thin across all the different platforms, okay? And she wasn't trying to repurpose all of the content and make it fit for the format of each of the platforms. Okay, this is a huge lesson. When you need money, spreading yourself too thin is expensive. And yes, YouTube is still my favorite long-term platform because it's a search engine and the content compounds, which means over time you can work less and earn more. But if I needed traction quickly, I would just choose the platform where I could consistently show up and clearly talk about the problem that my product solves. That's it. Okay, step 6. I would use AI to move faster, not to hide. If I needed money fast, I would absolutely use AI. I would use it correctly, not to hide behind generic content, not to make everything sound robotic. I would use it to move faster. So, for example, I would outline the product, organize my notes, draft captions, brainstorm hooks, help write emails, structure my funnel, script videos or reels, create lead magnets faster. Okay, AI is not the business. AI supports the business. And if you already have a problem, a product idea, a message, and a simple strategy, AI can accelerate all of that. But it still cannot replace your story, your experience, your voice, your credibility. Okay, that's the human part that actually makes people trust you. Okay, so the last step, step 7, I would give myself permission to start small. Okay, if I needed money fast, I would stop romanticizing big. I would stop trying to launch like a celebrity entrepreneur. I would stop trying to look like established before I had any proof. Okay, and I would focus on making the first sale. Okay, not then the next 10, then the next 50, because the first goal is not a 6-figure empire or a 7-figure business. Okay, the first goal is proof. Proof that someone wants the offer, someone will pay for it, the message is landing, and the system can actually work. Okay, and that's why low ticket and specific can be so powerful in the beginning because it lowers the resistance for the buyer, it lowers the pressure for the seller, and it gives you your data faster. Okay, that's one of the reasons why Janet's example is so good. She didn't wait until everything looked big. She just literally launched a product in the middle of her own health journey using a protocol that she was testing on herself and that she was seeing good results using. Okay, so if you're thinking, okay, but I don't have an audience, that is exactly why I like this model. Okay, because you don't need a huge audience. You need the right message, the right problem, the right product, and consistency. Okay, and only one platform. Janet proved that. So if I needed to make money fast and I didn't want to create my own product from scratch, I would also seriously consider a strong master resale rights digital product. Okay, if you want to know how to use master resale rights to earn online, a solid MRR offer can be a smart shortcut because the product already exists. The sales assets probably already exist, and you can focus on learning marketing faster and just selling the product. Okay, if the product already exists, the funnel already exists, the emails exist, and everything is already set up for you, all you have to do is lead people to your page. You lead people to your sales page, okay? But I would only choose an MRR digital product that solves a real problem, teaches a real skill, feels aligned with my audience, and is easy to position clearly. Okay? Because again, the product clarity matters more than the hype. And honestly, this is why support matters so much. Because if you're starting over and need money fast, you don't need more random ideas, more theory, more tabs open. You need one product path, one simple system, one place to get feedback and accountability so you don't quit too early. Okay. That's the difference between spending months working on your business and actually making sales. And that's also why I created the Digital Freedom Collective. So if I had to start over with digital products and I needed money fast, this is exactly what I would do. I would choose speed over ego. I would use my real experience. I would get hyper specific about the problem that I'm solving. I would sell the simplest way first. I would choose one traffic source. I would use AI to move faster. And I would start small and aim for proof, not perfection. That is the path that I would take. And now you know how I'd start over with digital products if I needed money fast. The next thing you need to know is the easiest digital product to sell in 2026. And that's exactly what I break down in my next video. So watch that because when you pair these two together, it becomes so much more powerful. See you in the next video.